From athletes who thought they scored major victories to ones who didn't wait to make sure they actually scored, and more, join us as we reveal 13 times athletes celebrated too early.
Just a reminder about our new giveaway. We're giving away the new iPad Pro or the new iMac Pro. The choice is yours. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple.
13. Cibona Zagreb. This is a video that seems to always come up when you consider athletes celebrating too soon. If there were a Hall of Fame for such humiliation, this moment would be on the first ballot, no doubt in our minds. It all goes down in the NLB championship between Cibona Zagreb and KK Partizan. The report states, after a pair of missed free throws from Partizan, Cibona raced up the court and nailed a three-pointer from the baseline to take a 1-point lead. Although there were still 0.6 seconds left, Cibona celebrated on the court.
Da, nadamo se da ćemo imati taj ponovljeni snimak čim prije. Naravno, ne može znati uopće šta mi imamo tog materijala.
It would still take a ridiculous shot from distance to destroy Cibona's moment of victory. But that's exactly what happened, which is why in any game, you don't celebrate until there is no time left on that clock. 12. Lett. Pretty much everything went right for the Dallas Cowboys in Super Bowl 27, except for one particular member of the team. Fox Sports reports that defensive tackle Lett recovered a fumble and headed for the end zone, where he decided to do a little showboating before reaching the goal line. Bills wide receiver Don Beebe was able to knock the ball out of Lett's hands just before he hit pay dirt, resulting in a touchback instead of a touchdown.
It's a fumble! It's a fumble! He had it knocked out of his hand!
The Cowboys crushed the Bills 52-17, but Lett probably still winces a little every time he looks at that Super Bowl ring. And to be honest, he's also probably kicking himself for not getting that TD because defensive tackles don't get those chances that often. 11. Nick Young. In a March 2014 game against the New York Knicks, the Los Angeles Lakers' Nick Young attempted a three-pointer that looked like it was surely going in.
He has some Lakers are playing with.
More from
Young turned his back to the hoop, raised his arms, and made the three signal with both hands, which would have been fine only that the ball hit the inside of the rim before bouncing out. Young's premature gesture didn't matter much as the Lakers went on to win the game 127-96 with Young going 5 for 6 from behind the arc, but it could have been 6 for 6 and then he really would have had something to celebrate. Oh well. 10. Adriana Pertea. When it comes to running competitions, the thing you never want to do is gloat when there could be someone behind you about to catch up and then go past you.
What a shame. Berhane looks great.
Berhane.
There it is.
There it is.
And finally, Pertea realizes it too late.
This happened to Adriana Pertea in 2007 during one such competition, and as she noted in an interview, she didn't look behind her before she started to celebrate. "I didn't realize what happened," said Pertea, who was running her first major marathon. "Probably that was my mistake. I didn't check. I never looked behind. I thought if somebody was coming, everybody would be screaming that somebody was there." She first saw Berhane Adere when the former track racer sprinted past with less than 50 meters to go. She had no time to respond. It's hard to say Pertea should have continued running hard until the finish line because it seems like she was chugging along as any competitor who was running that many miles would. Really, the only egregious error may have been not checking behind her at the right time, although slapping fans' hands didn't help her cause. Live and learn, right? 9. Chris Williams. Chris Williams had a flair for the touchdown return during his time with the Hamilton T-Cats. He set a CFL record with 6 touchdown returns during the 2012 season. It should have been 7. In a July game against the Montreal Alouettes, Williams caught the football after a missed field goal and returned it to the length of the field 117 yards, but with about 20 yards to go, Williams turned around and danced towards the end zone.
Down before he crossed the goal line. That knee is down before the ball crosses the plane.
The pursuing Alouettes defender caught Williams and tackled him just before he fell into the end zone. After the play was reviewed, it was ruled that Williams' knee was down at the 1-yard line, negating the touchdown. There have been many 1-yard short plays in football history, but to have one go down because of showboating before you even score, yeah, that's embarrassing. 8. Patrick Roy. Showing off while a play is still live is a recipe for disaster. And it happened to legendary goaltender Patrick Roy in the 2002 NHL playoffs. The Colorado Avalanche goalie made what he thought was a glove save in the final minute of the first period of Game 6 against the Detroit Red Wings. With a flourish, he lifted his glove in the air to indicate he had the puck.
Again, another chance, and a big stop, and the puck's in. Law had it and dropped it.
But there was just one problem. He didn't. Detroit scored and went on to win the game, the series, and later the Stanley Cup. Roy is one of the greatest goalies of all time, but this was one of his worst moments to be sure, which of course is something you hate to see when you know he's that good. 7. Jeon Junwoo. In a 2013 Korean League game, the Lett Giants were trailing the NC Dinos 6-4 with a runner on second and one out in the bottom of the ninth when outfielder Jeon Junwoo came to the plate representing the tying run. Jeon ripped the ball for what he thought was a surefire home run. Jeon flipped his bat, pointed to the crowd, and strutted down the first baseline, only to see the ball easily caught at the warning track.
자, 전 선수가 보기는 홈런임을 생각했는데
The Dinos' bullpen began laughing while Jeon stood at first base for a while, confused by what had just happened. You celebrated too early, that's what happened. 6. Mark Martin. How is it possible for a race car driver to celebrate too early? Allow us to show you. April 9, 1994, turned from a day to remember into a day to forget for NASCAR driver Mark Martin.
But that's not like that. That's the stupidest thing ever done. There's nothing else I can say. I thought the race was over. Those guys pulled up beside.
Martin was on track to win the Goodies 250 Nationwide Series race in Bristol, but mistook other drivers waving to him on the backstretch as a sign that the race was over and pulled off the track 300 yards from the start-finish line. David Green took the checkered flag in bizarre fashion. Martin called it, quote, the stupidest thing I've ever done, end quote, and it's hard to argue with that. I mean, how do you not know when the race is over? You have to cross the line and get the checkered flag. It's that simple. Not to mention, you have people on your headset talking to you, right? So how did he screw that up? 5. Tanguy Pepiot. At the end of a 2015 The Pepsi Team Invitational steeplechase race featuring runners from Oregon, Kentucky, and Washington, Oregon's Tanguy Pepiot looked to have assured himself the victory and began raising his right arm to try and get the crowd to cheer him on. Pepiot ended up being caught by Washington's Miron Simon, who charged past him to win by 0.1 seconds.
Washington's Miron Simon came from behind to win by 1/10 of a second.
This is another case of not looking behind you to see what's going on, and Pepiot no doubt felt like an idiot that he didn't just secure the win instead of being passed by a literal fraction of a second. 4. Khalid Askri. Saving a penalty in soccer is one of the best feelings in the world for a goalkeeper, but those feelings soured quickly for Khalid Askri. The Moroccan keeper turned to celebrate with the Far Rabat fans after stopping a Maghreb Fez player's attempt. But the ball spun and dribbled into the net to Askri's horror. The video made the rounds on social media, and Askri became known as the unluckiest goalkeeper in the world. Now, in this particular case, you can sympathize with Khalid, as that had to be one heck of a spin to go and roll itself back into the net after being blocked. But still, you need to know where the ball is. 3. Lindsey Jacobellis. In the inaugural women's snowboard cross at the 2006 Winter Olympics, American Lindsey Jacobellis was nearing the end of the course with a 3-second lead over Switzerland's Tanja Frieden when she attempted a method grab on the second-to-last jump, twisting and grabbing the board in midair. Jacobellis landed on her heels and fell to the ground, allowing Frieden to pass her for the goal.
So just 2 jumps to go, and Jacobellis is down! Jacobellis has fallen! Looked like a moment of indecision there, and Tanja Frieden...
Initially, Jacobellis claimed the grab was an attempt to stabilize her board, but later admitted to showboating, saying, I was having fun, snowboarding is fun, I was ahead, I wanted to share my enthusiasm with the crowd, I messed up, oh well, it happens. Yep, it happened, and she got a silver medal as a result. 2. Riccardo Russo. Mistakes in judgment don't get much more egregious than this. This particular Italian motorcycle rider, Riccardo Russo, was leading by just 3 bike lengths at the 2012 Italian CIV Championship when he began celebrating the win 1 lap too early. The cringeworthy moment included Russo releasing the throttle, throwing his arms up, and even standing on the foot pegs of his bike while fist pumping.
No, he's punching the air, he's celebrating, I think, and I think
This race.
Several racers whooshed past him to the real finish line, and Russo finished 14th in embarrassing fashion. Think about that. You're in the length, you start to showboat, and you went from 1st to 14th in dramatically horrible fashion. That's dumb. Yeah, that's dumb. 1. DeSean Jackson. This is an all-time classic made by a not-so-classic player in the NFL. Do it once, that's a mistake. Do it twice, and that's pretty unforgivable. DeSean Jackson has had a bit of an issue with dropping the ball before actually scoring a touchdown. He did it first as a high school senior in the 2005 Army Bowl.
Well, for excessive celebration, I don't think he ever broke the plane. I don't know.
Flipping into the end zone just shy of the goal line. Then on Monday Night Football in September 2008, Jackson caught a long pass from Eagles QB Donovan McNabb, but started his celebration a bit too early, dropping the ball and nullifying the touchdown. Again, if this was something he never did before and got caught up in the moment, we could understand that, but it's something he's done before and should have been mindful about. Plus, the end zone is pretty clearly marked. How do you not know when you're in it and when to drop the ball? Lasai. So, what do you think? What do you think of these instances where players celebrated too early and thus got caught before they actually got the win? Which of these instances made you cringe when you saw them for the first time? Which are the worst ones in your mind? Do you have another one that you'd like to share? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on the channel.